Welcome back to our show. I'm Ben Brashen, and a lot of people are trying to find credible companies, credible professionals to work with, and we just had a question come in about insurance and how easy it is for insurance companies on every commercial to say, we can save you X amount of dollars. So-and-so saved X amount of dollars by switching. But I can't imagine that it's possible for every single person who switches to save $488 per year. Lucky enough, Paul Pukis joins us today with Mosaic Insurance Alliance to discuss a little bit about the credibility or lack thereof of some of the advertising that goes on in the insurance world. Paul, my friend, how are you?
I'm good. Way to start out with that question, though.
When questions come in, we got to have them answered. Right. Hey, I mean, that's the whole point.
We got to give the people what they want.
We got to give the people what they want, man. So tell me about it. I mean, you're in the insurance industry, and everybody who watches any level of television or listens to the radio or goes online at any point in time sees that, person A saved $400 a year by switching to X insurance company. Yeah. How is it that everybody can save money by switching?
Well, I can't remember exactly who said it, but Ogilvy, a good marketer. Back on in Wall Street, marketing. This is a little time ago. I'm dating myself a bit. But he basically said that marketing is telling the truth in a fascinating way or an interesting way. And these companies aren't necessarily lying to anyone. Someone probably did switch and save whatever they're claiming. That doesn't mean that everyone is. So when they're telling the truth, they're just telling the truth about a specific situation that happened. And people like, saving money started off to be a really big pull. Companies are still using it. People still want to save money. They want to be smarter with their money. So it does still catch people's attention. It doesn't mean that it's going to happen for everyone, and it doesn't mean that they're going to all save the same amount. And there's probably fine print on those commercials, too, that talk about that.
That you can't even read with your HD TV, even if you walk all the way up there.
It could be, but it's
John
there.
And Sally Smith live in Arkansas. And
that's right, and here's their specific situation. Sure. Because there's so many things that go into it about making that change, anywhere from business insurance to personal home and auto insurance. So,
is there truth to the fact, or I guess is there truth to the point, of people bundling all of their insurance with one place, and oftentimes that's where the big savings are, is you end up grouping all of your insurance to one company?
You can find that. Yeah, you can find... there's
Apparently I've been watching Nationwide ads. I don't know.
There's several ways to answer that question. Typically, companies, and I'd say it's pretty common for everybody, that you do get a combined discount. You put your home and your auto together, most common example. You go and then you add an umbrella policy, or you add a boat policy, or you add a second dwelling, a vacation home, or a rental property. And most companies will give you additional discounts for doing that. That doesn't necessarily mean that the same company that's going to insure all those things is the best value and the best coverage for every single one of your assets. And that's one of the things that I like about being an independent broker, is because we do offer different companies. It may make sense to put your auto with company A, your home with company B, and even though there is a combined discount that you may be missing, perhaps each one of those companies do a better job for you with that specific asset, and it still comes out either better priced, or maybe the coverage is better, and you're willing to spend, the couple extra bucks a month to get the better coverage.
How important to people is coverage? Are most people calling about price? It seems that we're in such a price sensitive, there's so much downward pressure on price, and everybody wants the deal.
Yeah.
Is that seem to be the biggest catalyst of moving to a different insurance company?
Yeah, yes. The short answer would be yes. I think that you have two main companies spending over $1 billion in advertising to get your attention that it's all about price. Now, what they don't mention is that in their policy is not as good, bottom line, as other companies out there. I'll share with you a quick story. People like stories. Here's a quick story.
I love stories, Paul.
Guy parked his car at his house. He forgot something, so he went back. He left the keys in there, left it running because he was going to run right back out to get it. And in the 5 to 10 minutes, it took him a little bit longer to get the stuff that he wanted to grab, whatever happened. Maybe his wife asked him to do something after he ran in the house. Who knows? But when he came back out, his car was gone. It was stolen. This gentleman had his insurance policy with one of those companies that advertises online about saving 15%, and they have wording in their policy that simply says that if you have if your car's stolen and there's no visible sign that it was broken into, we don't pay it. So he saved 15% to lose $20,000.
That is not a good investment.
That's not a good investment. So there's different wording like that allows that company to reduce the cost of their policy in situations for different individuals. But when you really need the coverage, is it going to be there? That's the question you need to ask yourself. And in this situation, the guy's out $20,000 because of the little wording in their policy to try and save a couple bucks.
I could only imagine if his wife did ask him to do something, how that conversation would have gone after. Because I get a lot of my insurance information from commercials, I assume that there's other companies that have the mayhem guy, and you may not be covered. Now, they are, I don't recall who, I think Allstate or somebody, and they don't necessarily they're not going after price. I mean, there are companies who are going after service. Do you have to kind of understand what you want out of a company more than just going and getting insurance?
Well, I will applaud Allstate only from the standpoint that I love the way that they're going about not price, that it's not about price. It is about the coverage because we live in the world. I live in the world all day long, helping people.
As opposed to.
Not living in the world. But you get the call, like you said, man, people call in because they're upset about their way their price just went up. Their renewal went up. And man, I haven't gotten any tickets. I haven't had any accidents. Why does my price keep going up? My car's getting older. All these type of questions we answer every day. But and at our office, our goal is to take someone away from the price conversation as quickly as possible. I mean, it is important. We can't just expect someone to come in and say, you know what, I'm looking for this insurance, and automatically say, oh, well, we're going to be $600 to $1,000 higher. Are we still okay to chat? Now, that might be okay on a $40,000 or $50,000 business policy, but on a $1,500 or $2,000 home and auto policy, not the case. So you gotta get to what's important for those folks. And most people would agree that once you have a conversation, in about 10 minutes or so, probably even shorter than that, that coverage is important, service is important, the time that we will save them from doing stuff related to insurance is important, and perhaps more important than the $7 or $8 a month more that it might end up being to get them the coverage they want.
Because sometimes that's really what you're talking about.
That's it.
$7 to $10 a month.
Perhaps, yeah. Or less.
Or less. I mean, it's only 15%.
Maybe. Yeah.
Paul, we have to go to break. Stick around for a few minutes. We'll bring everybody back, continue the conversation and opinions. I'm Ben Brashen. You're listening to Brashenomics.